Good evening, it's Lianne coming to you from our Out and About segment on liannephillipson.com on my Facebook page, and tonight I have the pleasure of wandering around my natural food store called the Sweet Potato in the Junction on Vine Avenue. So here we are in the front doors, and I'd like to take you in and show you some of my favorite things and the amazing things about why I love shopping here and have done for such a long time. So if anyone jumps on, do let me know that you can hear me, because that's always a bit of a challenge just to make sure. I'm going to go through these front doors here, and while I'm trying not to fall over walking around backwards, this here, okay, now I've got to get myself around the right way. This here is the produce section, which I think is without a doubt the most incredible thing about the Sweet Potato. So when I first met the owner of the Sweet Potato, it was probably close to 13 or 14 years ago, and he ran the High Park Organic Market, and since then has had two different stores. So we've had the Sweet Potato. This is his second that he's opened. The first one was a little bit further along on Dundas in the Junction. So this produce section is absolutely tremendous. They all know where everything comes from. Obviously, if it's something like the organic, the lemons we've got here, or the grapefruit that we've got here, perhaps don't know that farmer. But I do always remember that in towards the end of the summer, I wanted to know where the corn was coming from. How amazing! How did it become so amazing that this corn is so delicious? And they know the farmers, they know exactly where everything comes from. And I do have to say, I love buying my food from a place like that, where there's such a connection between the owner. There's such the passion of wanting to know where everything comes from. So this for me is one of the newer areas of the store that they didn't have in the slightly smaller store. So as I'm walking around, I'll try and keep it like this. So it's a really massive store now. I'm not sure how many square feet is it now, Evan?
1,800, I think.
1,800. I'm going to introduce you quickly to Evan, who's in charge of all the marketing and has been giving me my lovely tour. Now, this is another area that I think is really just tremendous. So my kids adore coming here, and they go through all of the bulk, and they say, can we try this time? Can we try this different, like the curry cashews one time or something like that? The Cajun, that's not something that they're going to try because it blows their head off. But let's just look at all of these different varieties that they've got going on here, which is just amazing. And then, of course, all of your dairies and all that kind of stuff. I pick up my grass-fed from here as well. And then as I'm wandering along, I'm going to take you down to the meat market. Now, anyone who does have meat or has heard me speak before knows that I'm quite, when it comes to beef, I don't eat too much beef, but when I do have beef, I like it to be grass-fed. So again, let me flip you around. I hope I'm not making you dizzy. So this is something that they've brought into the new store. And this is, again, all grass-fed. There's this tremendous, these burgers that are sitting here. And this is the Clear Creek. Let me show you this. This is where it comes from. And if you want to actually know, you can give this farmer a call and chat about the meat that you just had for dinner, which is absolutely amazing. So I love knowing where you can get it from, because it's not always accessible for everyone to know where all of their food and their meat and everything like that is coming from. So, and then also, of course, the fish counter as well. This is somewhere where I'm going to be able to get my lovely oysters, which are an absolute favorite of mine, and then some gorgeous omega-3 boosting, memory enhancing, which we all need, and I'm definitely suffering with lately, is get that memory working better. Now, when anyone undertakes something like this, a store to this magnitude, right, it blows my brains, and it's been absolutely amazing to watch Diggs go through everything that he's done and create this place. It took years to get into this place, because it is it's in a residential area. There's all of these different concerns, but I know that everybody is going to be just really, they're going to benefit by having such a tremendous place So let me just, we've got frozen foods behind me, and then this here is a massive highlight of this amazing store. So the Sweet Potato Kitchen. I'll take you into the kitchen in a little bit as well so that you can get to see, but look at all these amazing foods that they have on offer here. And I just noticed myself, I'm going to flip around again, that from one end here we've got these new organic lasagna fresh noodles, down to everything here that's already just fresh prepped. Apparently the Singapore noodles, these here, are an absolute hit, and they run out of those on a regular basis. And there was a salad that I grabbed once when I took on radio, and then took it into Jerry, and I'm not too sure which one it was, but there was some amazing, I think it was almost spiralized, what do I want to say, squash, butternut squash that was in the bottom. So absolutely fantastic. And then also over here we have, they've obviously run out, it's late in the day, it's 7 o'clock. So right here, this is their rotisserie chicken, which I believe, oh no, now we're backwards on this one. So hang on, now I have to do this because I flipped you around. There we go. So now you've got that the right way around. And I think a rotisserie chicken, which is about $12.99. So if you're completely stuck and you need to have something like this, it's just amazing. But obviously get here earlier than 7 o'clock. Now the kitchen is actually open from 7 in the morning until 10 at night. They're cooking all day long to put foods out for us that don't have time to do it. So it is just, I'm so grateful for that. I've bought their bread that they make in store as well before, because I like to know where all of my food comes from. Shall we head on into the kitchen? We might be able to go and check out the chefs as well. I've asked, the music's blasting in there to keep them going. And then just as I pass this right here, check this out. Apparently there's going to be vitamins and everything coming soon, but this skincare area that we all need to know so much more about. If you haven't checked out your skincare before, then do make sure that you type everything that you ever use or put on your body, put on your family's body. Make sure that you type that into the Environmental Working Group Cosmetic Database, because I'm quite sure you're never going to see a product like any of these come up as something which is terribly toxic for your family. So all of these kind of things, I have to say, I really do love this hand wash. In the wintertime, my hands go incredibly dry, and I use this all the time, and it doesn't dry out my hands. And then I also use all of these products here for my kids for their hair. They like a specific smelling one. I prefer something else, so it's just great. So this is going to extend quite a bit more into a lot of vitamins, apparently. So another thing that I wanted to talk about is the prices. They always have, look at that, they always have all sorts of sweet deals, they call it. And again, that's backwards, sorry. They always have these amazing sweet deals, which are just amazing. So you can get their flyer, go on their Facebook page. I've tagged it in the beginning of the post so that you can have a look. But who doesn't want a little bit of chocolate at nighttime? I know we all do that. Okay, so let's head into the kitchen. So we get to go really behind the scenes now, which is such fun. So this is what happens when you ask all the right questions and say, hey, can I come and see? So let's just flip this around. It's going to be noisy just for a minute. There we go. And then this is where it all happens. So they have to have their music on to keep going. This is where those amazing rotisserie chickens are cooked and everything like that. So this is where it all happens.
So can I...
anything to add? Do you want to just step out?
So, I mean,
yeah?
we've got 3 stations running right now. There's prep happening, there's a bakery station at the back, and Ivana, who normally does hot foods, is also doing dishes because it runs non-stop.
Always. So it's everything fresh pretty much every day?
Everything is made fresh.
Every day?
Almost every day, I think.
Yeah, there are some things like the rotisserie chickens, you've got to come in early to get those.
And we keep on adding shifts and hiring people, and something's good when you can't keep it on the shelf.
That's so important. It's so important to know, and it's really good. Right, let's leave these guys to their chefing and head back out again. This really is just such a tremendous place to come and check out. And if you have any favorite places that you also want me to check out or that you know of, I'd love to explore and see what else there is. I just have to do the produce section again because it really just is gorgeous. It's such a pleasure to come and be inspired, because so many times when you go to the fridge or you go to the kitchen and you think, oh God, now what am I going to do? You know, it's always great to just pull out a pepper and add some color to whatever it is that you're making for dinner. There's some eggplant here, some Brussels sprouts, whether they're your thing or not, then it's amazing. Look at this broccoli, holy smokes, broccoli $2.99. I definitely know that that's a super cheap price for broccoli, so you have to get on these kind of things really quick. And I actually have got some of these sitting around in my fridge that my girls love to just take, and they make up their own little dip. So there's all these little things that you can get to just to make your meals that much more nutritious and that much more interesting for everyone, and keep on making sure that your kids are look at all those bananas actually ready to go that aren't green. That smoothie material right there, some immune boosting garlic, and then these amazing tomatoes. As you can see, I'm rather a fan, so I could carry on talking about all the amazing foods here, but really I just want you to be able to go to a place where you feel inspired and you get quality and amazing foods for you and your family. And the Sweet Potato happens to be the place that I come the most, so that's why I wanted to highlight it. And thank you so much for joining me, and thank you to Evan, who's right here. And you can come on down at any time and say hi to the, what do you call it, the Yam folks?
The Yam fam.
The Yam fam, that's it, for the Sweet Potato. So thanks so much. Type in any comments that you like, even after I've said goodbye for the night, and then either the Sweet Potato will answer your questions, I'll answer your questions, give you some inspiration, and that's it. All right. Thanks so much for having me. Good night.
Take care.